Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Nightmare Mode run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Romantic, which is a unique character for Nightmare in that it actually gets stronger on the higher difficulty. The reason for that is that the charmed enemies get the extra damage from being charmed and the extra damage from being on Nightmare Mode. So although their health is increased, charmed enemies will still kill faster on Nightmare Mode than on previous difficulties. So I'm not saying that it's easier to play the Romantic on Nightmare Mode. It's still obviously a lot harder because it's a harder difficulty mode, but it is fun that this character gets a genuine mechanical advantage on the maximum difficulty. Today, so I'm going to be using the submachine gun here. For the Romantic, I think that this is the best weapon by far. There are definitely there are players who much prefer slingshots on this character, but the way that the Romantic works, whenever you hit an enemy that's below 25% HP, you have a chance to charm it. So if you're using submachine guns, you just have a lot of chances to charm. Also, this is just a very powerful weapon in general. I'm going to roll here looking for harvesting or ranged damage, and we'll take the harvesting. I'll buy a submachine gun. I'll ban Scared Sausage. Now, the Romantic loses stats for gaining Curse, so you lose 1 armor and 3% damage for every 5 Curse you have, and you gain Curse at the end of every wave. So you might think you don't want to build Curse, and we should ban Corrupted Shard here. I think that's actually not true, and you really do want to build Curse on this character, because the way that Curse works, having just a little of it is kind of the worst case scenario, where you're still going to get cursed enemies and they can spawn at bad times and make it really hard to actually win, but you're very unlikely to have powerful cursed items to offset the extra power of the enemies. So you should, on characters that get Curse for free, you should usually build a lot of it. Curse is kind of a stat where you want tons or none at all. I'm going to pick up 5 harvesting here, and then we'll take another SMG, and then I'll roll, lock this SMG. Because I found another one, I'm going to buy this helmet. Also, because we're losing armor every wave, obviously, helmet's a very solid item anyways, but this character needs to prioritize picking up armor over basically everything else. Already got a charmed enemy there, which is nice. We will need, of course, to increase our damage, and we need to do that so that we can actually reduce enemies to the health threshold where they can be charmed, and you won't charm everything, so you need to kill some of it. This character suffers from a reduced economy as well. I'm going to keep taking harvesting until we get 21. And then I'll roll one more time, and then I'm going to take 8% damage. We also lose percent damage, so picking up some of that can be very helpful to offset that damage loss. Terrified Onion, I think this is just a bad item overall. Even though I have negative move speed, I'm just going to ban it here, and then I'll lock the fresh meat, and I'll do another reroll looking for a submachine gun, and we'll buy a Corrupted Shard. So the Romantic suffers from a reduced economy, and I think that there is probably a bug in how this character's income is calculated somewhere, just from my experience playing it. So the way it works is that at the end of a wave, charmed enemies are supposed to give you as much material at the end of the wave as you would have gotten if you had killed them. There seems to be something wrong with that calculation, because when playing the Romantic, you almost always end up just making less money per wave than other characters do. So I think there's probably something wrong with how that's calculated. Here I'm going to ban the landmines. The 10 damage from them is just not that exciting, so we'll just take our 6 materials here. I definitely want to use lifesteal over regeneration on a submachine gun build, so we're going to ban plant. And then here, I'm going to take 2 ranged damage. We have no flat ranged damage currently. And then 6 HP would be good, but let's just take the high level upgrade. We need to fix our movement speed anyways. And we also have a broken mouth locked in the shop, so health is less critical here. I do need to fix my percent damage. I don't think taking the early bone dice is that good. This character is going to suffer from low economy, so we won't be re-rolling as often, and lowering our max HP makes us less likely to charm things, and of course makes it so that we get hit and die more often. This wave is always going to be a challenge, wave 5, because it has the Mantis Shrimp and the buffer, and when you're using submachine guns, the damage reduction from the Mantis Shrimp can make them very, very hard to kill. Now, once you start charming them, they will do a great job at clearing out the rest of the Mantis Shrimp, and you're very likely to charm them as long as you have the damage to reduce them below the charm threshold, because when you're only doing 1 damage at a time to something, it's very likely to get charmed. But you can see here that between the healers and the Mantis Shrimp damage reduction, Wave 5 is always going to be a challenge for an SMG build, but we made it through without too many difficulties and still made good money. I'll take the bat here. Lifesteal, of course, very important to submachine guns, and we'll take 10 luck. I'll take the SMG, bag, and sharp bullet, an incredible find. Not only is this one of the best items for SMGs, which have no piercing by default, tiny damage instances, like from the piercing shots, are really, really strong on the Romantic, because they have a higher chance of charming. We'll take some more lifesteal. I will not buy Tentacle. Crit chance is worse on SMGs, because they only have 1.5x crit damage. Worse on the Romantic, because you generally want lots of small amounts of damage rather than to crit for large amounts of damage. That'll reduce your chance of charming. And also particularly bad with effects like Tentacle and Hunting Trophy, because you don't get the value of those if you charm. You're actually killing things yourself a lot less frequently than other characters. So items like those that trigger off of killing stuff are weaker for this character. So Tentacle and similar items, you should usually just avoid those. Now I'm walking into a lot of attacks this wave, but I did get a crate out of that tree, which is nice. Here, I could take a medical turret. I think I'm just going to recycle it. I think medical turret is just, we won't be able to play around it enough. I do need to take more ranged damage. My damage is starting to fall pretty far behind. And then I'm going to buy these items. Attack speed. The first point of attack speed on submachine guns is really important, because there's an animation glitch with SMGs where when you have 0 attack speed, they attack much slower than they should, basically. As soon as you get the first point of attack speed, it increases your DPS with submachine guns by like 20%, because it overcomes that animation glitch. At some point, that'll probably be fixed, but it's been, I think, a pretty sticky bug. So it stuck around in the game for a really long time. So while attack speed on SMGs isn't particularly powerful in general, because they already have a ton of it and you need base damage more than you need attack speed, the first point of attack speed is incredibly important for this weapon. Try to keep the healers charmed and clear as many of these enemies as possible here. And I also need to pick up at least some more harvesting, because you can see we're starting to fall behind in income already with low harvesting and the econ penalty that the Romantic has. I'm going to roll here, and I'm just going to take 1 armor, though, because offsetting our lost armor is incredibly important on this character. Level 10, I could roll for armor, or I could take 3 ranged damage. Let's just take the damage, because I need to make sure I'm still able to kill stuff. And I do have Bowler Hat locked in the shop, so that fixes my harvesting here. I'm going to keep the SMG. Do I want a wheelbarrow? I don't think we can afford to lose the armor. I'm going to keep banning level 1 items, and then we'll reroll here. All right, early candy bag. Of course, we benefit a ton from the bonus stats. Extra max HP is good, extra armor is incredible, range damage would be great. This character does struggle against elites, so Candy Bag can be pretty dangerous from that perspective. If we do get an elite, or if we get a second elite on a wave that already had one. If we get an elite early, or we get, or if we double up on elites, that can be pretty scary, but the bonus stats from Candy Bag are very much worth it. Also, it would be really funny if I buy Candy Bag and die to the same elite again, as I did in my mage run, so, you know, we're going to make that happen. Also, charming a blobfish there is incredible on the Romantic. It's one of the best feelings playing this character is charming that type of enemy. because when you charm one of these blobfish, it summons charmed lampreys when it dies. Oops, I thought that that enemy was charmed there, so I walked into it, but I just didn't see it in time. And so it's kind of an army in a can when you charm something like that. I'll pick up the candy bag here, and then we can upgrade our submachine gun. I'll do one reroll. Baby squid I'll take, I guess. I really want lifesteal, but this is a good healing item. No, I don't think we're going to get enough stats out of it to make it worth buying that. Charming these big hatchers is very similar because they're going to spawn charmed eggs, which will then spawn charmed slashers. So again, you get an entire army just from charming that one enemy. Kind of the summon woodland being of Brotato. Getting the cursed slasher charmed would be great. As you can see, my super low armor is making things a little more challenging here. We did get the cursed hatcher spawn, or cursed hatcher charmed. And that's spawning so many friendly units that they're just taking everything out for us. Here I could take 10 luck. We don't really need the movement speed. I think I can do better. I'm going to roll here. Yeah, I'm going to take 6 max HP. My range damage is okay, but I need enough max health that I'm not dying here. I will buy an upgraded submachine gun and another one. And then I can't afford both of these. I want to buy both, of course. I'm going to take the Triangle of Power here and lock the little muscly dude. Offsetting our percent damage and our armor loss is really important. And we won't take that many hits in a given run. Also, if we do, losing a couple points of percent damage doesn't really matter. Triangle of Power is just very good for this character. Ooh, 2 armor from the candy bag there. That's incredible. That's why we bought the item. It's always funny how when there's nothing on the map, the charmed unit charge you. It always scares me when it happens. When you've cleared everything else on the field. Again, on wave 10, we get the charmed hatchers. Also, this is wave 10 on the Abyss, and on Nightmare mode, on wave 10, right at the end of the wave, a gang of like 8 walruses spawns, and so you need to be really ready for that. And you can see that just happened. So I managed to charm 2 of them. That's going to make it a little easier to dodge the rest, but you need to be really prepared for that, because that's one of the easiest ways to die here. I could take the attack speed, I could take 1 armor. Crit chance is pretty bad, both on the Romantic in general and on Submachine Gun. Only has 1.5x crit damage. And you want lots of small damage instances, not large damage boosts, so crit chance is pretty bad here. I'm gonna think just take the 10% attack speed, and then I will reroll, and we'll take 3 armor. Perfect. Alright, a cursed spicy sauce. That's nice, because of course more maximum health is great. And we'll buy all these max HP items, ban the boiling water so we can get our reroll. Small fish can reduce enemy health down to the charm threshold. So although this is normally a pretty inefficient item, it's a little better on the Romantic, so we're going to buy it here. I'm going to save my bans for free rerolls later on, and then I'll lock these 2. Weird Ghost, we have 7% lifesteal. Do I think I can safely buy Weird Ghost? Not really, because I have Candy Bag, so there's a chance we get an elite spawn, and you don't usually want to buy Weird Ghost on elite waves. Also, although lifesteal is good for this character, because we're an SMG build, it's a little worse than it is for most characters, because we've actually built a lot of damage, so we're killing things quickly, which gives us less opportunity to lifesteal. And we can't lifesteal off the friendlies, so there's just significantly less total health, effectively, on the field, in the form of enemies that we could lifesteal off of, because a lot of the time we get them down below the threshold and then we charm them, which means fewer hits with our SMGs. Get that tree kill. Try to keep everything charmed here. You can see we're starting to fall a little bit behind where a normal character would be in terms of income. I'll recycle the toolbox. Here, I could roll for armor. We actually have 6, which isn't terrible. This is our level 15 level up, so we're guaranteed to get a level 3 here, a purple upgrade. I could also just take 3 ranged damage. Let's just do that, just making sure that my damage output is high enough. Especially because I'm going against, or because I have candy bags, so there's a decent chance every wave that an elite shows up. Do I want the cursed laser gun for that reason? It'll reduce my chance to charm significantly, but it is very, very good at killing elites. I think that this character's more fun, though, if we don't buy it. I'm also going to pass on Jelly. We do need max HP, but 44 for 1 is such an inefficient way to buy max health. Then we'll buy a submachine gun. I will buy the Hedgehog, because I think I need more damage going into the Horde wave. And we'll lock a couple lifesteal items. No armor that wave, but we still haven't gotten an elite from the candy bag. I think it's saving them for to double elite us on wave 17 or 18, whichever one we have the elite on. This is what I really was looking forward to with the Romantic, though, charming the enhanced enemies. The enhanced Hatcher there is going to spawn enhanced eggs, which will then spawn enhanced slashers. And those, wow, look at that guy go. It's just bulldozing the entire map. That's awesome. Kill some of these curse aliens. I do have to back off and clear some of these lampreys. And try to maintain a decent income this wave, but we have a lot of enemies on the field, so we actually made a ton of money this wave. Okay, extra stomach is great. We definitely need more max health, so that's an incredible find. We'll take a padding as well. I will recycle the fuel tank. Tyler can do small damage instances, which can potentially charm. It only costs 38, but I think it's better just to take the money here. Do I want 8% damage? I could take 12 harvesting to try to maintain my income into the end game. I think I'll just take the percent damage, though. This character, of course, gets reduced percent damage. Here, we get a free reroll by banning Weird Ghost, because I can't buy it when I have Candy Bag, basically. Take a submachine gun. I don't need more move speed, so we can pass on Clockwork Wasp. I will buy another SMG. Ashes, I don't think we can afford to take here. Armor loss is already a problem for this character, so although these stats are great, it's just too dangerous. Black Belt, I will take that. Leveling up, of course, is great, and getting positive knockback is pretty nice for this character as well, as we're using submachine guns, so even a little bit of knockback can really push enemies away from us, and that gives us longer to charm them. Okay, so we've got the enhanced pufferfish. Now, I'm very glad that they fixed the pufferfish bug, the charmed pufferfish bug, or at least they sort of fixed it. So, previously there was a bug where a charmed pufferfish would die and release hostile projectiles. And those projectiles would benefit from the triple damage that enemies get when they're charmed. Which meant that they could one-shot you. They kind of fixed that bug. They made it so that when the charmed pufferfish dies, it still releases hostile projectiles, but they no longer do triple damage, so you won't just get one-tapped. I do think that wasn't like the fix I would have expected, but it was probably the easiest one to implement, because I'd have expected that they'd release friendly projectiles, but it's good for us in this wave that that bug is fixed. I'm going to take 3 armor here to prevent death, and then we'll go ahead and pick up an SMG, take the alien magic. I do just need more max health, so worth buying that. And then I'll take a reroll here. I don't need the fruit basket. I'm going to roll again. I could take a recycling machine. I'm generally, I have been just not a big fan of recycling machine on Nightmare mode. It takes a long time to pay off. It doesn't give you XP, it's just like a little bit of extra money. If you are a character that drops a lot of crates, then it can be good, like the Curious or something like that, or the Gangster. It's especially good on characters like that, but we only have one guaranteed red crate in this wave, because we only have one elite wave, which is where the recycling machine is at its best. And we will take, like, most items that we see, so the chances of it actually paying for itself in a reasonable amount of time are low. That's an item that I used to be quite high on and have really come down on quite a bit. This horde wave is so much fun for us. We're just creating this wall of charmed enemies around ourselves. Yeah, we'll keep picking up armor. I'm going to reroll here, and I'll take 16% damage, and then 4 more armor. Perfect. Here I will... Guess we can just buy this SMG and upgrade to level 4. We'll take a feather as well, more ranged damage. I don't really need to buy things like acid or alien worm at this point, because I do have extra stomach, so my 80 HP I think is enough. We'll buy a submachine gun here, and we'll reroll. 2 dodge items in 1 shop. I could start building dodge. I think that's actually okay. Gambling token and adrenaline are 13% dodge. We have 2 already. I'm coming up on level 20, so I could get a 9 dodge upgrade there. And dodge is pretty powerful if you can get a bunch of it all at once. So this is the type of spot where I'm a little more interested in starting to build dodge, when we can get a ton in the same shop, putting it to the point where it's an efficient defensive stat quickly. Also, we have a lot of HP and a lot of armor, all of which make the dodge better, because the dodge is multiplying a higher effective HP number. And very good healing also makes dodge better. And triangle power as well. So lots of reasons to want to build dodge in this, on this character. We're charming so many enhanced hatchers. This is... this wave is so sick. Can we get that cursed one? Nice. Well, basically nothing can survive, because we have the most powerful possible army on our side. Okay, well... The Cursed Ashes I will take. 40% damage, 36 attack speed. We are going to lose armor. So this is wave 15. We're going to lose armor 16, 17, 18, 19. So this is -4 armor. But we get a ton of extra stats here. I was going to build dodge. Since I got the Ashes, I'm just going to take 3 armor, because it's going to make it harder for us to just die immediately. And then here I'm going to buy the level 2 submachine gun. And I think I'm actually just going to skip the level 1. I'm looking for higher level upgrades, because the chances of us finding another level 1 to upgrade this in the next few waves are not actually that high. So here we got a Cursed SMG, and then I'll roll one more time. It's still fine to buy coupon. We'll buy Baby Gecko. Alright, I started building dodge. Do I want to kind of go off the dodge in order to get 3 ranged damage from the alloy? I think I won't. I think it's actually good to build dodge here. Especially because I have candy bags, so we're going to get random points of dodge here and there as well. Another great wave for the romantic, when you can get charmed stargazers, and then those can create charmed mini-bosses. The romantic, I think, is generally more powerful. Still harder on the Abyss, because I think the Abyss is a harder map than Crash Zone most of the time. But generally more powerful on the Abyss, because there's so many summoning enemies and so many powerful tools you can get to clear the waves. One thing we haven't really found is a lot of additional enemy spawns. I think we have 1 gentle alien. And that's something that you really want on the romantic. As you can see here, we're often in a spot where we've just charmed everything on the map and our units are all idle, which the StarCraft player in me is extremely pained by. So if we had more enemy spawns, we would be able to have those constantly attacking stuff. I'm going to recycle the Peacock. That's an easy way for us to die. Now, the charmed allies do benefit from the bonus damage from Peacock, so it's kind of fun in that respect. But we don't want to just throw the run by taking huge hits. I'm going to roll here and roll again. I can take 10 attack speed. I think I'm going to roll one more time. I'm looking for ranged damage. I'm looking for armor. I'm looking for dodge. I guess I'll just take the one ranged damage. Feels pretty bad to do that, but that's what was offered to us. And then I don't really need to buy the little muscly dude. I still have one knockback. I think I actually will buy a boxing glove. I think more knockback is good here, and then we'll pick up a gentle alien as well. Alright, did we get an elite spawn? That's one thing I am worried about, is elite spawns on the darkness waves. Because not knowing that they've spawned can be really scary. This is also an enhanced stargazer wave, and an enhanced blobfish wave. And one thing that those types of enemies really want you to do is decide which ones you're going to kill. You don't want to kill two blobfish at once, two of the enhanced blobfish at once. You don't want to kill an enhanced blobfish when there's a stargazer chasing you. So you really need to kill these like threatening enemies one at a time. The darkness does make it much harder to do that. Now, because these enemies are so powerful and the enhanced the hordes of lampreys that we have, the like buffed stargazers, the enhanced mini bosses, all of these are just killing everything, so it hasn't been a problem here because our build is really strong. But you easily can run into trouble. All right, 4 armor, that's incredible. We'll pick up the boxing glove, gentle alien. We'll take a tree, and you can see here we're really starting to run into lower income than other characters, even with 80 harvesting. I'll take a baby gecko here. I'll lock Shady Potion and Banner. Actually, do I want the Banner? I have been trying to build knockback. Attack speed is pretty good. Range is okay. I think we'll pass on the Banner here. Spyglass, we make so little money per wave that the Spyglass will never be useful. Let's go into the Elite wave. And again, this is Candy Bag, so we could have had 2 Elites spawning here. We didn't. Trying to get a big army of cursed buddies to go after the Elite, and then they can put a bunch of damage on it while we kind of just hang out. A couple Stargazers just obliterate an Elite really fast. Because again, this is on Nightmare mode, so enemies have 160% of their normal health and damage. But that damage gets tripled by the Romantic. So even though the health is increased, their damage is increased. The charmed unit's damage is increased more, since we're multiplying a higher number. So enemies die even faster to charmed units on this difficulty setting. Here, yeah, we'll take 6 range damage and some more knockback. That's incredible. I'll take Ugly Tooth. It's going to make it a little easier to survive the bosses. Take Shady Potion and Butterfly and reroll. Another Cursed Submachine Gun, perfect. And we'll pick up a Coffee and a Head Injury as well and go to wave 19. Any elites? Alright, it's saving it for the boss wave. Now, Candy Bag with an elite on the boss wave could be very scary here. So one thing I can do here is I can stand in like an island of safety and not move. Because this is a wave with a pretty dangerous projectile pattern, there's some incentive to just find a spot where the projectiles don't hit and just stand in it. But we need to pick up materials this wave because it's wave 19, so any materials I leave on the ground are gone forever. So I am incentivized to move around. Also making sure that I'm killing things like loot aliens and charming the important enemies before they get close to me, and so on. Another, the enhanced walruses getting charmed remains super powerful. Yeah, so we made 550 this wave with 47 on the ground. A normal character would have made about 700. So I think that there is something bugged with the calculations here. I don't know what it is. We'll upgrade our weapon, get another cursed SMG. The Catling gun, I suppose this is worth buying going into the boss fight. It's a little bit of extra damage. Do I want a gambling token? Does that increase my effective health? We lose 1 armor, which is pretty dangerous. We only have 17 dodge. I think I'm just going to take the ritual instead. Just kill enemies a little faster, get a little more lifesteal. And then we'll go to the boss wave. Sadly, my my investments into dodge did not pay off in this run. In part because we got the ashes, which meant that I needed to build armor. Alright, so I have to back off. I'm taking too many hits here. I did get a lucky dodge there. Go grab this consumable. One challenge for the romantic on the boss wave, and the boss wave is always really hard for this character, is that there's just fewer enemies on the field on the boss wave, so you have fewer charmed allies, fewer things to lifesteal off of, and fighting elites and bosses is much more dangerous for you, so it can be a little harder, but we got there. So that is the romantic on Nightmare mode. That's a really fun character. I loved that we got 96 stats from our candy bag and ended up with 9 armor, which is pretty important as well, despite having 74 curse. So we had 50 damage a shot on our submachine guns. Our curse ones dealt about 20k damage and the others about 10k damage. Double Gentle Alien was great here. Our bag for only 240. We only had 50 luck, so it's not that surprising. One of the real keys to winning this run, though, was getting Sharp Bullet early. On any submachine gun run and on any romantic run, piercing shots are one of the most important stats that you can find, and so Sharp Bullet was an incredible pickup. The bowler hat worked out very well. We needed luck in harvesting. The candy bag obviously worked out well. We never did get an elite, a bonus elite spawn, which is probably good for the romantic. There's lots of ways you can just die if you get an elite spawn. Triangle of Power was excellent. It was just really efficient stats. Spicy Sauce did nothing but give us 5 HP, which is what we bought it for. Extra Stomach, 49 bonus health, which really helps overcome this character's weak economy and offset our poor defensive stats. 130 materials from Dangerous Bunny. We hit level 24, even though we had 2 XP items. And again, this is because this character makes less money than other characters. The ashes, of course, cost me 4 armor. It says 5 here, but one of those was after wave 20. And was nevertheless really good. We actually healed 5 HP from the adrenaline. That's funny. The coupon did not work out. We bought it late and just weren't able to purchase that much for the rest of the run, so maybe I should have skipped it here. Alright, my friends, hope you enjoyed this look at the romantic, the only character that actually gets stronger on Nightmare mode, though it is, of course, still difficult. As always, if you have enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.